back to another vlog. This is Stan here with you. Today I'm going to talk about the drawbacks of the Tiago AMT, and this is actually a deal breaker, so let's get to it. Actually, the Tiago excels in a lot of departments, but it fails in one major department, that is drivability and convenience, and it obviously has to do with the AMT gearbox. Somehow I feel Tata haven't actually tuned it well enough, or there's something wrong with the ECU tuning, because there is no sync between the throttle input you give and the acceleration that happens on this vehicle. Sometimes if you give 25% throttle, it accelerates fast, very fast. Sometimes you give more acceleration and the vehicle just doesn't move forward, just stays still or goes very slow. This unpredictability is actually very risky with this vehicle. I think this is one major drawback with the Tiago, and it is actually a deal breaker for some users. I've actually contacted Tata regarding the same, and I'm actually waiting for a response from them. And if they're not able to fix this issue, and I really wouldn't suggest this vehicle for anyone, because it has a potential to cause accidents. So actually right now we are on a hill and the aircon is on. I'll show you how this car struggles. Obviously, as soon as I let go of the brake, the car will come back, and I need to accelerate as soon as possible. Yeah, there. Now see, now aircon is on. I'm giving 25% throttle. Now it's 100% throttle. See, it's not climbing at all. It is in 1000 RPM, and now it's going, picking up speed. So there is a delay of almost 4 to 5 seconds before the car picks up speed. So it's actually struggling a lot. Again, let me see if this car will struggle right now. Okay, now we're in dead stop and we're going to accelerate 25% throttle. The car isn't moving. The car isn't moving. Okay, now it's going. 50% throttle, and now it's accelerating. The RPM is increasing. Sometimes there isn't enough torque for the car to move forward. That especially when there's a slight incline or there's any obstacle in the front tire, the car struggles to move in front. It's as if the car doesn't get enough torque in first gear. So the throttle issue with this car is that when you give enough throttle, like 25 to 50%, and sometimes even 100%, the car doesn't move forward as fast as you think. It just goes very slowly. It actually just crawls. And sometimes if you give part throttle at 25%, the car just surges ahead in front. So there's a lot of inconsistency in the throttle response. We are climbing a hill right now. Okay, 100% throttle. I'm jammed. It's jammed. The car isn't moving in front. See, it's stuck at 1000 RPM and now it's moving. Almost after a delay of 4 to 5 seconds, the car is moving forward, even with the full 100% throttle. I think this drawback is because of the AMT gearbox. Maybe I'll have to test drive other cars like the Celerio and Wagner to find out if they also have the same issues. The other main issue with this vehicle is that it actually comes back when you're midway through an incline, and if you stop and then accelerate, the car actually comes back. Or also when you just take an incline, the car actually just comes backwards, and that's pretty dangerous actually in my opinion. And for new drivers, like women drivers, I think it's pretty dangerous and it's a big inconvenience for them. With aircon on, there's a big issue with this vehicle. A lot of inconsistency in the throttle response. Sometimes even on a plain road, if you try to accelerate, the car won't move forward. It'll be very slow and lethargic. And in another instance, like if you try to overtake some vehicle on the road, as soon as you mash the accelerator, you might think that you'll get enough torque to move the car forward, but you can't predict when this torque comes. Sometimes it'll come in 1 second, sometimes it'll come after 5 seconds, sometimes it'll not come at all. So this will leave you in a very embarrassing and risky situation while you try to overtake, because you can't predict. So it's actually better if you don't overtake with the Tiago with the aircon on. Obviously, if you're driving without AC and in sport mode, obviously you don't have an issue. Even my fuel mileage is actually low. I'm just getting around 10 to 11, I guess. It's showing 12 kilometers per liter in the MID, but I don't think this is what I'm getting. I think I'm getting anywhere between 10 to 11 kilometers per liter only. They're saying after the first oil change this will improve, so I'll just reserve my opinion for that later. But the inconsistency in the throttle response is a really big issue for new drivers and lady drivers. this will really be a big issue and inconvenience. They won't be able to drive it safely because there's also a chance for the car to come backwards on a hill. So I really wouldn't recommend this AMT gearbox to any of the new drivers, because it's actually more of an inconvenience than convenience. Oh, there again, the car just didn't accelerate right now. It wasn't even a hill, and the car didn't accelerate. I hope Tata can fix this issue as soon as possible, because it's a really risky and dangerous issue with this vehicle. So yeah guys, this is the new rear camera that I got. It has also a front dash cam. I've done a separate review of this on how to purchase it and how it performs. The link is there in the description below, so you can have a look at it and purchase it if you want. I think it's pretty good for the price that I got. See, I'll try to replicate the issue here. It doesn't happen always, and that's the irritating thing. You can't actually predict how much throttle you need to give to actually accelerate the car this much, and that means you really cannot predict with this vehicle. I do not know if it is because of the ECU tuning or the AMT gearbox. I don't know what is wrong, but I've addressed it to Tata and I haven't got a reply back from them yet. So that's another disappointing thing. Tata is not responding as quickly as I expected them to. So anyway, it is my job to highlight these issues to potential customers so that you can make an informed decision. I just lost a mirror yesterday over there, as you can see, before you guys ask about it. Kid actually was driving a scooter pretty fast, and he lost balance when he saw a gutter in front. He just came and took off my mirror. So that's that. And also the issue with the hill climb with the AMT gearbox, the vehicle just doesn't climb a steep hill confidently enough. Even in sport mode, it actually struggles sometimes. So this is another issue with the gearbox. So let me show you how it struggles right now. And now there's a hill actually right now. Let's see how the car performs with the aircon on. Okay, I'm going to stop the vehicle. I'm going to try to accelerate. The car's going back as usual. Obviously the way through this is, see now actually the car's going fully back. Now this is dangerous. As you could see, I tried to accelerate, it was in 2000 rpm and it just dropped suddenly. The torque totally went off on a hill. If the car goes back, you need to hold the handbrake up and then accelerate, and as the car steps forward, then you can leave the accelerator. So hold the handbrake and then climb a hill, that's not an issue. But if you don't use the handbrake, the car obviously does come back in all AMT gearbox cars. But the issue is, like right now when you drive in front, okay, it's in first gear, it's below 1000 rpm and the car is going backwards, even while moving forward. So that's a big issue with this vehicle. The car shouldn't actually come back while you move forward. This happened twice or thrice. While you go forward, when you go mid incline, the car comes backward, and this is a serious issue. I really would suggest you all to take test drive of the Tiago AMT before you confirm on a vehicle. Don't drive the manual gearbox and then purchase an AMT gearbox vehicle. If you're planning on purchasing the Tiago AMT, just please test drive the Tiago AMT only. My suggestion, just wait for the Santro AMT and also the test drive the Grand i10 because that has a more superior torque converter gearbox, I think, which will be much better. So yeah guys, although Tiago excels in a lot of departments, especially the interiors, the handling and all that, it fails in one major department, that is its drivability and convenience. Though the AMT gearbox is supposed to be convenient, it really isn't. There is a big issue with the gearbox. Like each time you accelerate, the acceleration is not in sync with the throttle input that you give. There's a huge disconnect between these two departments. Like sometimes you give less acceleration and the car surges forward fast, and sometimes you give more acceleration or 50% throttle and the car just doesn't move. So it's very uncertain. You can't really predict what the car does with your right foot. So I don't think that's good with this Tiago. So if any of you guys faced a similar problem, please do let me know how you solved it in the comment section below. Also, if any of you found this video useful, please do like, share and subscribe, and also please press the bell icon so that you get future notifications. Thanks for watching guys.